Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I've sat down and filmed a video, but I am super excited because I have a new little kind of setup going. I have some new lights and a new camera, so hopefully the quality will be better for you guys. If it is, let me know down below. I'm still just kind of getting used to this whole little setup. But I'm very excited for today's video because I have a whole bunch of new, very hyped up makeup to try out. A lot of this makeup is brand new launches, and a lot of it is just products that I've personally never used before and want to put to the test. So if you want to see how all of this new products work out for me, then just keep watching. Alright, so I'm just gonna jump right on into it. I have already done my brows. I didn't have anything really new to try out, so I just did my same old boring routine with that. And now I'm gonna jump in with some foundation. So the first product I picked up was the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. So I've seen a few people use this a different way. I've seen some people use this as like a tinted moisturizer. I've seen some people use this kind of as like a base for their foundation, and that's personally what I'm going to be doing. So I like the wand that it comes on. I'm just going to apply that kind of like to the areas that I usually like a bit more of like a glow and a bit more coverage. So as you can see, it is giving me some like major glow right now, which I'm loving. Now I'm just gonna blend that in with a beauty blender just to kind of spread it on out and blend it out. So yeah, this product is definitely very sheer. I would not use it personally as a tinted moisturizer because it just does not give me enough coverage, the coverage that I like. Maybe if my skin was looking really good and really flawless, sometimes it's there, most of the time it's not, but maybe for days like that, if you just wanted a little bit of coverage and a little bit of a glow, this would be a good option. But for me, I definitely think I will use it as more of like a primer. So for my actual foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This foundation looks beautiful, and from what I've read, I think I'm going to really like it. It says it's sweat-proof, waterproof, transfer-proof, and I heard that it can be mixed with other foundations really well. So I'm going to shake it up. I got the shade 2.5 and I'm scared it's going to be a little bit too dark for me right now. My body is slightly tanned, but my face is very pale. So I'm hoping it'll match like my chest more than my face. I'm just going to apply a little bit onto the back of my hand. It has definitely more of like a thicker consistency than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be more like Makeup Forever Face and Body that's really like liquidy and watery, but it actually has a really nice consistency that I think I'm going to like. I'm going to try one half of my face with a brush and then the other half with a sponge, which is usually how I prefer to do my foundation. Alright, so I just scooched you guys in a little bit more so you get a better view of what we got going on. So it actually did a really good job of covering. It has more coverage than I thought it was going to. I thought it would be very sheer, but actually I really am liking the coverage it has. Obviously I didn't cover all of my like dark spots or acne spots, but I didn't really expect it to. So I'm really liking it. I think the shade I chose, the 2.5, was actually a really good shade for the tan I have going on right now. Now I'm going to go in on the other side with a beauty blender and see if I can kind of build it up to get even more coverage on that side with the sponge. Alright, so I just finished blending that side out with the beauty blender, and I will say I do like the beauty blender side more. It gave more of like a glow to the skin. This side is a bit more matte and this side is a bit more glowy. So it kind of depends what your skin tone is like and what you like in your foundation. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more and just see if I can build up some areas. Also, another thing that I'm liking about this is when I first got this, I thought that it looked really small, like smaller than most of my foundations, but it's actually 1.6 fluid ounces, while most foundations are 1 fluid ounce. So even though it looks way smaller, you actually get a lot more product with this than you would a typical foundation. So I did build it up a little bit to get a bit more coverage. The only thing I'm not loving about this foundation so far is I'm finding that my pores are looking a bit more accentuated than usual, but it's also because I didn't use a pore filling primer like I usually do. So I feel like if I used my typical primer along with this foundation, I would really, really like it. Fingers crossed that it lasts well throughout the day. Okay, and now for the star of the show, product that I was super, super excited to try out. The Jeffree Star Concealer. So I went and I picked up 2 shades. I picked up the lightest, the white shade, which is C0, this guy right here. The packaging is just beautiful. It gives me like very Sailor Moon-esque vibes, which I am all about. And then I picked up the shade C13, which I was really scared was going to be way too dark for me, which is why I actually picked up the white so I could kind of lighten it up if needed. And surprisingly, it's a lot lighter than I expected it to be. So if you guys are kind of not sure what shade to go, I would go like a shade or 2 darker than you expect, because this was way lighter than I thought it was going to be. Also, something I'm a little bummed out about, when I received this concealer, the star on top was actually a little bit broken, which, I mean, it isn't a big deal, but I'm a little choked at the price point of this. So when I first went on Jeffree Star's website, the concealers were $22 US, which didn't sound too bad. But by the time I converted it to Canadian, got it shipped here, paid for duties, they each ended up being $43 a piece. So I paid $43 for a broken concealer. This stuff better be magical, okay? Okay. So immediately what I'm noticing is that a little bit of this concealer goes a long way. I haven't even had to dip back into the little tube to get more product out. One little like swipe of this is doing my whole face. It has a nice thin consistency, but is covering really well. But my gosh, is this full coverage. Alright, so looking here in the mirror, it blended out like a dream, and it actually blended into that foundation really well. So sometimes when I have a really hydrating foundation on, some concealers tend to kind of pull the product away, but this blended in very nicely. And once I blended that in, the shade actually worked really well for me too. Next, I'm going to try out his setting powders. So I did open this up already because I heard that it smells like cotton candy, and I love cotton candy. And it's true. It smells so good. So let's see if it actually works as good as it smells. So I let it kind of set and bake for a little bit. So a few things about this. It, 1, smells amazing. 2, is so finely milled, which is a good thing, but also it kind of like gets in my nostrils. But I mean, at least it smells good, so that helps. But yeah, be very careful that you're not like inhaling this product because it is so finely milled. Doesn't look overly drying underneath my eyes either, which is something that happens to me very often. And like right to the touch, it just feels very soft and smoothed and blurred, but not dry or cakey. Moving on, so next I have some bronzer from Fenty Beauty. These are her new bronzer. She has a whole bunch of shades that look beautiful. I ended up getting the shade In the Sun. If I can open it. Oh my god. It says it's a neutral tone for light to medium skin tones, which is what I am. So I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. So that bronzer is looking really nice and natural. I like it because you can really build it up and get like the coverage and the color that you want. I think it is like the perfect tone for me right now. But if I did tend to get even darker than this, which I don't usually, but if I was, I think I would want to maybe go up just like a little bit in the shade range. So maybe just bump it up just like a little bit for when I'm tanned. So I picked up a blush from Kylie Cosmetics. I've never used any of her blushes or even any of her face products besides her concealers, I don't think. So I'm going to give this a try. This is in the shade Close to Perfect. So this is what the shade looks like right there. It's just like a nice kind of peachy pink kind of natural tone. That's really pretty. And I think it blends really nice with kind of like the bronze look that we have going on right now. I do have a few more cheek products I kind of wanted to play around with a bit. I also picked up the Cheek Leader Mini Bronze Palette from Benefit. I have already dipped into this because I could not wait to try this shade Cookie right here. It's so beautiful that I already had to use it, so I know I already like this. This palette also has Benefit Hoola, which I really like to use to contour, so I'm just going to contour just a smidge. And now to highlight, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill 09 highlighting brush, which is one of my favorite brushes to use to highlight. And I'm just going to apply that on my whole body, please. Like, I just went in with just like the lightest touch, and that's how blinding this highlight is. It is so beautiful. Okay, you guys, my face is looking flawless. Like, so for my eyes, I have the James Charles palette by Morphe. I know I'm a little late to the game on this one, but I've seen so many people create such beautiful eye looks with this palette that I knew I had to go and purchase it. I wasn't going to because, to be honest, I have majority of these colors somewhere in my collection, but to have everything just right here in one palette was just, I just needed it. Okay. So first I'm taking the shade Canvas, which is just like a really nice nude shade, and I'm just going to apply that all over my eye just to kind of help as a little bit of a base. And then I'm going to take 10% off, and I'm just going to start applying that on the outer corner of my eye and up into the crease and kind of smoke it out a little bit. And then next I'm going to take the shade Rusted, which is like a kind of orangey, kind of tangerine-y shade. And I'm just going to apply that kind of in the same area and just kind of blend it upwards even more. And then on the same brush, I'm going to take the shade 518, which is like a really orange shade, and apply that even higher up onto that kind of crease and blend it towards my brow bone a little bit. Everything is blending together very easy and very seamless. I'm like honestly not even having to work very hard at blending these colors, and it's looking really good so far. I am going to go in with the shade No Beans, which is just a darker brown, kind of like same kind of warm tone. But I'm just going to apply that right into the crease and kind of deepen up that outer V even more. Now I'm going to take the shade So Good. It's kind of a goldy type of shade, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid. That's really pretty. I could honestly just leave it like that, throw on a little bit of lashes, and be good to go. But I do really want to play around with that Huda Beauty Melted eyeshadow. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be using the shade Drop Top. So I was having so much fun with my eyes that I ended up just completely finishing it, and I am obsessed with both of these products. Also, I don't know why it took me so long to try the Huda Beauty Melted eyeshadows. They are beautiful and they go on super easy, so I did pick up a few other shades, so I'm very excited to play around with those. And now to move on to the lips. I picked up a few Charlotte Tilbury lip products. I've never tried any of their lip products, but I've heard some amazing things, so that's why I wanted to play around with them. The first one I got was the Pillow Talk lip liner, which is like one of the most popular lip liners at the moment. So I'm just going to go and line my lips. So I just filled it on in, and I'm really liking the shade. It's like the perfect kind of like pinky nude for my skin tone. I'm going to go in with the Kim KW lipstick by them. That's quite a bit lighter than I thought it was gonna be. I really do like the consistency and like the formula and the color, but I think it's just looking a little bit too nude for what I'm wanting right now. So I actually am going to go in and just apply just a little bit of the Fenty Beauty Uncuffed and kind of mix them together. So I have a new setting spray to try out, and I honestly haven't heard a ton about it, and it is the new Kylie Cosmetics setting spray. So I'm just going to try it on out. It doesn't smell like much. Kind of has a little bit of like an alcohol smell to it. Is there alcohol in this? Alright, well there is the final look. I honestly really liked the way that this turned out. I don't think there was a product that I didn't enjoy. Like honestly, everything I used today ended up working really good. I definitely will continue to use a lot of these products, well actually all of these products, because I think it looks pretty freaking good. I definitely think the standout products for me are the concealers. I really like the way my under eyes are looking. It's looking nice and smooth and bright, along with the setting powders. Like this combo right here it's good. I also am really liking the Dior foundation. It's looking very nice and natural. Also, my eyeshadow, I really like the way it turned out. Super fun colors, lots of different looks you can create with that, as well as the Huda Beauty eyeshadow. Also, loving the Benefit Cheek Leader palette. Definitely worth the money. I think it was about $40 for those 4 shades, and my only wish is that they would create the cookie highlight in a single, because it is like hands down one of my favorite highlighters I have ever used. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd like to see in the future, and hopefully I will get back on track and start doing more of these more consistently. It felt so good just to sit down and play around with some makeup. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.